but this past week, I took some time and I listened to the whole album, and part of me is like, what were you thinking? It's like, because it was
Yo,
so
Muhammad, yo.
it was so, it was so unusual. It was, I can't even like explain it, right? Because
Yeah.
it was like an amalgam of like so many different influences of my musical like
Mm-hmm.
life that I
Mm-hmm.
brought to bear in that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And whether someone out there is going to understand the music or not, it's funny, I just really didn't care. It was what was coming out of my head
Mm-hmm.
that I was doing. So, and I'm like, why did you even do this thinking people are going to listen to it? But anyways, that's what I will use to start this conversation with.
Yeah, so we're here with we have Mohammed Ali Naseehu, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And Antonio Dangerfield and Mathew Baranello. My name is Benjamin Metzger, aka Benoir, and I basically invited these guys together to talk about the incredible upcoming release of Synopsis, which is an album that Mohammed basically he was just discussing I felt we all felt like it was such a cutting edge album, and
Mm-hmm.
back in the
Mm-hmm.
age of CDs and you know, like this was a fusion of African music and electronic music. And, you know, we all met through a band called Ensemble Uniqua, run by Antonio. And
Yeah.
um, so, like, I basically just, we could all talk about our experience of how we met and the influences of that band and how it you know, as technology progressed and then Mo got his own studio, and then he started writing all this stuff, and then he started bringing us in. So, you know, I don't know who should go first, but what do you think, Antonio?
Well, you know what I can say is Yo, Muhammad. Remember I came in your crib, bro.
What song title? What
Right, yeah.
which track number was that? What track number was that?
I think that's I think the title is
I don't
called
remember.
First Flight.
Yes, I think it was First Flight. So I'm gonna
I
share
believe so.
the screen, and I wanna play some of that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Somewhere I have a nice picture to show of Mohammed, and I.
Wow.
This is Mohammed back in the day. Whoops. So it goes on and on there. Some
Benoir jumps
Yeah.
in. Man, I don't know what. Anyway, it's so good to listen to it.
yeah, yeah. And
Yo,
Tony and
Muhammad.
I were laughing about it the other night, right? We were talking about how long it took us to learn these lines.
Yeah, man. I was sitting at your crib for like 3 hours, Muhammad. To learn the
I
line, bro.
remember. That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
you cooked a soul fast omelet. You
That's
know.
true.
Yeah, I was like, you know, oh man. But that when when the line sits with you, it sits with you.
That's right.
You grab it. But
That's right.
it took me a long time on that line, bro.
I'm surprised you were just singing it out now.
Because yeah, it's in me now, bro. It's in me now. Yeah, it's in me now, man, bro. Yeah, it's in me. You know, I remember like fucking sitting at your crib in Park Slope, bro, on your
Yeah.
couch,
Mm-hmm.
trying to learn that line. It took me like 3 hours or 4 hours to learn the line. But meanwhile, you cook an omelet, and you showed me how to cook an omelet.
How to
Slow
how to
cook,
cook? Yeah.
slow cook, slow cook. Yeah, man. Muhammad, that's just crazy, man.
I still do, man. I just finished making my kids if there's one thing, right? I've been doing music for a very long time.
Right.
I've been a writer for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
But you know how it is with the arts, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You are as good as your current project.
Mm-hmm.
You are
Mm-hmm.
as good as the novel or short story you're working on.
Mm-hmm.
You are as good as the music you just composed.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, I cannot say I'm a good writer or I'm a good musician. But one thing I can say I'm a very good cook. That I can say, yeah.
That's funny. I don't cook
That
much, but I'm cooking a lot more now. Like I even cooked tonight. I bought some this bread from the farmers market with sauce on it, and I put it in toaster oven.
sauce on the side.
A pizza on there with different stuff and mushrooms and this and that. It was so.
Benoir, remember once you came to my house and I made this pasta sauce? You were literally drinking it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I love sauce. We all know that. Yeah, and I just released that Sauce on the Side album, which features Matt on the drums.
I've been listening to it, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Even today, I listened to it. I
Oh,
listened to the
cool.
whole album.
Cool. Yeah, it's got a lot of unreleased stuff. Like I was trying to go in a strict genre of like very spacey bluesy stuff, and so some of the songs didn't make the album because I wanted to be very genre specific. I had all these big plans. If I look through my notes of like albums and compilations and things I wanted to do, and so I'm finally getting to that now. But Sauce, yeah, it's like a spacey journey, and it's got a lot of the different world music influences that we all love. Like
Yeah.
you have we all studied, well, Antonio and Matt and I know we all went to colleges to study jazz music.
Exactly.
So like specifically and intensely. I know you, Mohammed, are also an aficionado of jazz, as I'm wearing this Miles Davis. I just picked this out randomly today, but I'm wearing a Miles Davis shirt. But
Sweet.
like just to give everybody who's watching a brief, quick, boom, pow kind of introduction to some of the background here. We've got, Muhammad was born in was it Ghana or Nigeria?
Ghana.
So he was born in Ghana, and his family, from Ghana and Nigeria, into a royal family, which is even pretty amazing, right? Into some royalty.
Yeah.
Therefore, you had a pretty decent education, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you were exposed to a lot of different things, including music, including incredible music. Like, name some of your early influences, some of the major influences that brought
Well, music is funny because I was sent to Interlaken Arts Academy,
Mm-hmm.
where I met Antonio.
Right.
you.
Right.
How
Where
Right.
old
we
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
met.
you?
Yeah.
How
You
old were
you
you?
you was sent there for writing, Muhammad. Right.
I was there like 17. I was there for writing, for creative
Yeah.
writing.
Ah,
Right. Mm-hmm.
But then you cannot, of course, you can't escape music at Interlaken because
Mm-hmm.
it was primarily like a music art school, but music is very, very big there. So by the end of my third year, my final year, I actually started working with the ensemble, the percussion ensemble, with John Alfieri, who
Mm-hmm.
was then
Mm-hmm.
the instructor.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
got into music a lot while I was at Interlaken. And by the time I left, I mean, I've always back then actually, you know what the music that I really really loved? It was like kind of Detroit electronica.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like people like Rick James, that I was heavily into.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But while I was at Interlaken, slowly because there's jazz everywhere, there's classical music everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I work, when I write, there's always opera playing in the background.
nice.
And I got that from Interlaken.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I left that place, I discovered Miles Davis. This guy, Xavier Davis, who's a
Davis. Yeah.
huge
Yeah. Yeah.
pianist. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They.
He
They.
once gave me like a cassette tape
Mm-hmm.
of Miles
Mm-hmm.
Davis.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which album or what style, genre, whatever?
I don't remember. I think it's Miles Davis Quintet. I don't remember the album exactly.
Mhm.
Um, but that got me into loving jazz. And I didn't even think I would be composing music
Mm-hmm.
seriously until when I was in college. Another Bennington Interlaken alum, uh, Bill McHenry, sax
Mm-hmm.
player.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we were very good friends.
Mm-hmm.
He had a band in New York. They came to perform at Bennington College when I was a freshman. And then he saw me, and then I told him, I said, listen, man, I have all this music in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should like do a band. Bill was like, yeah, let's do it. So he took 3 or 4 members of his band, including Takuya Nakamura, the Japanese trumpet
Yeah.
piano player.
Mm-hmm.
And then we rehearsed. I just started creating like music. From there, we created a band called Fatima.
Mm-hmm.
And I should share that. Antonio, have you ever heard my music from the jazz years, Afro
Not
jazz?
here, bro. Nope.
Oh, I gotta share that with you. We actually did 2 albums, guys.
Okay.
Yep.
I think I remember hearing you had a CD of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
remember that.
So then it became very, very intense to the point where most people knew me as a musician at Bennington College, even though I was also writing very seriously. So I ended up doing both when I moved to the city. And then Antonio's led Ensemble Uniqua with Matt Baranello, badass on the drum, with Benoir on the guitar. That was such a great band.
Oh, fucking awesome.
That was such an amazing band.
Yeah, awesome, dude.
So
You
that's
and I sound like one person in that. I was listening. I was playing after Benoir put Sauce on the Side out. I've been playing it for my drum students. And the week he put that album out, actually 3 albums came out that I was on. That same week, over a span of all these different years, they just all happened to come out that week. But I was showing my students how you and I played together. So I was using Antonio's recital. We sound like one person. It was incredible. It was such
right.
You can't tell who's playing what.
Because it's hard to catch up with you. That's the thing, man. When Matt plays, it's so hard to catch up with him.
Yeah. So, and
It's a good or a bad thing.
It's a good. It's an amazing thing. It challenges me to just really keep up.
Yeah.
Nah, man,
Matt's got a fire, you know, he's got a lot of fire in him.
Yo, Matt, you open up with the chat, you know, for the motherland, you know, and then, you know, Muhammad's like on the you know, the talking drum and shit.
Uh-huh.
And it's just fucking incredible, man.
Yeah.
Really incredible.
Yeah, Benoir, you gotta release that, man.
Yeah, so like just for the listeners now, and hopefully there's no little kids watching with the F-bombs going fly.
Oh yeah, we've been dropping them,
but
right?
it's all effing good, right?
You need a beat.
But yeah, we'll have to bleep some stuff out. Bleep, bleep, bleep. Yeah, Matt Barrow, bleep. But Matt is a Long Island guy like I am. We're from out east, like, you know, I believe you went to Connecticut, right? School district.
Yeah, we're from the same town.
Well, I grew up in farming. I was born in Patchogue.
Oh, okay.
I moved to Coram for a little, and then I lived in Farmingville, and I went to Sachem High School. So it was
okay.
like we were right near each other. But Matt is, you know, Italian, right? American, pretty much. Like that's your background, and he grew up in Long Island. So we have a lot of similarities there. You know, I grew up with a lot of similar people. You know, like let's say. And Matt got into music, and then also you ended up probably meeting Antonio at Manhattan School of Music or around that time. Like talk about that.
Yeah, I was a junior, right, Antonio? You came in my second year.
I think you were done. I think you were a freshman, bro. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, that was my first year.
Yeah.
You were okay. So I was a freshman at MSM, and Antonio was a grad student.
So the Manhattan School of Music in Harlem, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
What a great school. I mean, through you guys, I was educated in so much, you know, like I was really schooled, universities, you know, I got to play between my other friend, Rob DiPietro, also Italian from Long Island guy, and like what he did. And he brought me into NYU, and then he recommended me to play with Antonio and Matt in a band called Astrid and Funkmeister.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
German saxophone player woman who was studying at NY, Astrid Hepner, and played at the Knitting Factory.
Yep.
Alt Theater. This was a small little venue that didn't exist for very long, but it was downstairs. And it was a little room, and I remember we had a great time playing boogaloo music, you know, and like funky stuff. Matt was on congas, Rob was on drums, Antonio played the trumpet, you know, Astrid and her husband sax. And like Wayne Krantz came and gave me a nice compliment at the end of the show. I was all like, wow, this is cool, you know. And I met all you guys. And then you said you're playing at the Bell Cafe. And I was in Soho on Spring Street, I believe. And I went down. I remember that night just going, looking for the place, going in. And there's all these interesting people on stage. And that was the night I met Michael Lawson for the first time, I believe.
Yeah.
Hey, where the hell is Michael Lawson?
He's in Texas, man. Yeah, he's in Texas, man. He's doing good, bro.
Really? His whereabouts, or that he's actually back?
Yeah, no, you sort of all his legal shit out. Yeah, he's good, man.
Oh,
yeah, solid. Yeah,
I always wonder about him, where he is and what he's been up, what he's doing.
All right, well, we're gonna have to connect with him because I'm releasing the Trio Noir album tomorrow on October 31st. Like, so Michael was this amazingly talented string player who also picked up other instruments along the way. Michael Lawson played primarily viola, right, originally, but then he switched to violin. And in the group Ensemble Uniqua, he was playing electric viola mostly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and he had a very world music-y sound, very Middle Eastern-y kind of African, you know, like whatever blend, like as all of us, which is part of this whole thing is just, you know, it's like when you're a seeker and you're a learner and you're a teacher and, you know, like creator, like all of us. And we're all seeking and learning and gathering, and we're pulling all these pieces together to create beautiful things, you know, together. You know, whether it be Ensemble Uniqua, Synopsis, all the work we've done together or separately, you know, like Mohammed bringing in his African and Arabic cultural roots, and you know, like Matt ended up studying like deep into you know, like Latin culture and Taino and like other
Yeah.
worldly
Yeah.
culture. Matt, can you share with us a little bit about your journey with, you know, like I guess you studied percussion and that led you down the path of whatever you want to share with us, because I know you don't want to share everything necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, well, I've been playing bata drums. So bata drums are actually Yoruba. They're
Yes.
Nigerian, actually.
Mhm.
Nigerian and yeah, go ahead.
And so the bata drums were actually maintained in Cuba. It was slightly altered. In Nigeria, there's usually 5 of them, and in Cuba, there's only 3 in the ensemble. So I've been studying Afro-Cuban, well, I've been playing Afro-Cuban bata for 30 years. I started studying bata when I was probably 18. Just did a gig a few days ago at a school out here, a whole presentation.
Nice.
Yeah, so, you know, I actively play bata still. Definitely, I mean, it's constantly in everything I play on drums. You know, it's hard not to be. Yeah, and I mean, what else can I share? There's so much.
Well, you know, Matt, bro, you know, you're a priest as well, right? So,
Oh, I guess I should mention that too.
yeah,
He preaches.
yeah, you're a priest, bro. So,
He's a
you're a priest.
priest in the
Yeah,
yes.
so yes, my musical studies did lead to me definitely going a little further into the Yoruba tradition. So I actually, in 2004, I was initiated in Nigeria as an Ifa priest and as a Shango priest, both.
In Nigeria?
Yeah, actually in Oyo.
Look at Mohammed. He has had no clue about this. Like
I have no
I had a little
clue.
clue. I had a tiny clue.
yeah, I know, Matt's a priest.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Amazing, right? How art and music bring you just deeper in and deeper in, and
Right.
here it is, you know, like he
So
studied
so
bata.
what town? What town? Because I know Nigeria very well. I know what city.
In Oyo. So I was in
In
Oyo.
Oyo? In Oyo
Yeah, in
State?
Oyo. In Oyo City, in
In Oyo
Aketan.
City. Okay, yes.
Yeah, so in
Wow.
Oyo City, and I actually work. I mean, I work as a working babalawo.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, no, that's my day job. So to speak.
God.
Very cool, Matt. We love it. That's
So
why
I've been-
I fed you the
Babalawo.
question, Matt. I fed you. I'm like, talk about yourself a little.
I mean, I
So
don't.
you are a babalawo.
For 20 years.
Ashe babalawo. Ashe.
Ogboato asore wori wofu.
Oh.
What a reunion. I love it. I love it.
One word.
I can show you my room off the interview.
One
Nice.
word. Oh my God.
Or just for Muhammad. All right, I'll give you a little glimpse. Let me see how much I can show here. Wait, here, it's just for Muhammad because I don't know how I'm gonna. Here's my. It's a little messy from work today, but here's my consultation room.
Nice.
Oh,
So, yeah.
so this is very interesting, man. An Italian American, right, who is now so steeped in the Yoruba culture. I mean, it's not mind blowing, but for me, it just really tells the story of how we are all one people, pretty much. We are all like just really. It's beautiful.
Precisely.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. You know, another. You know, Matt is so. You know, he's such a humble man.
I know. He's always been.
Yeah, always, exactly. But when I met Matt, you know, he would come from Washington Heights with 3 congos on the train to make the gig down to the Bell Cafe.
Right.
It was like dough, you know, but you know, Cat was committed out the gate, you know.
Yeah.
I love him for that. Yeah.
No, I mean I mean everything I am now is directly related to all the work we were doing back then.
Mhm.
You know, it was all part of the journey, so to speak.
Yeah.
Dig it. Yeah, man. We were deeply in it. Deeply in it.
So we all love jazz, but then we
Yeah.
all also like different styles of music, including like African music and drumming, and then, you know, like in that time, and it's apparently it's still going on. There's in Brooklyn they still have the Prospect Park drummers. You know, they're still doing drum circles because
Oh yeah, they still do it.
I saw a post saying like who's coming with me to the, you know, Prospect Park. So like Central Park had a big drum scene, and I remember my friend Ricardo, who you guys all met and know, and your friends with
Mhm.
as well. He had Tribe of Djembe, and like he was going up there, and like he started the Tribe of Djembe reggae band by hanging out with the Central Park drummers, and then bringing them into the reggae shows. So Tribe of Djembe was, you know, initially started with that, and yeah, it's just amazing. I mean, like this album Synopsis that kind of sparked this whole little vibe of us getting together and talking is it has like it was very cutting edge, the beats and the, you know,
Mhm.
the programming that Mohammed came up
Mhm.
with based
Mhm.
on all of the things that were going on, Aman Tobin and all those guys, the drum and bass guys, and the, you
Mhm.
know, like DJ culture and Takuya and all the work he was doing, and the work he did with him, and just like all that stuff, you know, like mixing and spiritual things and religious, and just like reaching out. I want to play Allow Me. I feel like Allow Me is a very strong. When I played the track earlier, did you see my screen or would you just hear the music?
We heard the music.
You just heard the music? All right, cool.
Yeah.
So I'm
Hey,
going to.
yo, Noir. I just want to mention that gig we did at Webster Hall. You remember that?
Oh, yeah, I
Muhammad?
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about it?
Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah.
At Webster Hall. Muhammad, you remember that?
Mohammed, do you.
I think I lost. Yeah, just 1 second. I think I lost. Oh my god.
So now you can see my screen though, right? Right now.
I can see your screen, but I think I lost. What did I do here? Yeah, I can see. I can see.
Yeah, that Webster Hall gig was killer, bro. Yeah, remember that was Synopsis. That was the first live gig I did with Synopsis. The Webster Hall. Yeah.
Oh wait, we did Webster Hall with Ray Webster Hall. Synopsis.
Yeah, that was the man. Yeah, heck yeah, yeah, yep.
I have to find a photo or something. But show you
Mhm.
I was trying to show you this earlier. Did you see this photo of Mohammed? Did you see?
Oh wow.
This was at a club like Baby Jupiter or something like that, you know, and like that's what I looked like at that time. That's what Muhammad looked like.
Oh wow.
Oh my god, this brings back memories. Allow me to be myself.
Right.
Ah, it's from a line. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's from a line back home. Is I don't even know how to translate it. Nama fari ina dalili da za ku ce mini in bar zikiri. So it's like this line from back home.
Right.
Where the hell are you coming from for you to tell me to stop singing?
Mm. Mm.
So this is the image we're gonna use for the album cover release, and it's from his CD. I cropped it. I'll probably try to get one, but this is what I have right now. I could definitely make it a little more like the dimensions like it was. But this was the picture on Synopsis, the album cover, Muhammad there.
Okay, let me see where I can see that. Yeah, and I was doing stuff like just singing singing like guitar lines. What was I thinking?
You're using your ears.
Some slick shit. That's what. Hey, that's what yeah.
A lot of people forget to hear when creating music. Anyway, that was always one of my favorite tracks on the album.
Oh,
I didn't hear it, man.
Oh, you didn't hear it? What about you, Matt? Did you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
So we were talking a little, and I had it in the background, and I put it up at the end. Anyway, it'll be on the video. You could watch the video too. And I don't know what else we want to get in, but like I'm having a ton of fun. This reminds me of like I had this show called Mystic Noir, and it was me and my friend Johnny Mystic, and he's also an intellectual and a writer and a musician. And so during COVID, we had a cable access show, and we would interview people and talk about our careers and talk with the people. And so this feels a little bit like that right now. And I always wanted to do an Ensemble Uniqua version or have you all on as guests.
that would be great.
Yeah, and we never did it. So this is it. Like right now, anyway, we could always do a bigger one. It would be great to get like Salty Buddha, maybe Lawson, Sundar, anybody who's out there who wants to be a part of our, next round of this would be great.
Yeah.
Yo, Noir, man, thank you for inspiring us, bro. It's important. Appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro.
We all inspire each other, and you're all amazing musicians, and like interesting how Muhammad is saying like he's not really doing music now or whatever, but it lasted this long. It's like thing you create something and it's there forever. So now we're going to get this album out, but like right now you're a professor at NYU, correct?
Yep.
You're teaching literature. What are you teaching there?
I'm in the English department teaching creative writing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow,
what a great thing!
Yeah, it's been a steady gig. I started 2011. I'm still there.
I have The Prophet of Zongo Street in my collection, which is
fucking brilliant book. Brilliant.
Book.
Listen, I'm having such a problem selling. I have 2 books finished in the past 2-3 years. Antonio, this is a novel. I calling it American Boga. It's a novel about the intra-racism, the black on black prejudice that goes on among us that we don't speak about it. The publishers out there are getting uncomfortable publishing this book. I'm having a problem seriously selling it. It's been about a year now.
Wow.
It's been from one house to the other. We're working on it, but it's from I really, really think, Antonio, you may not know this, or you may know this. You hang out even in my neighborhood now, this Flatbush where I live. When I first moved here, the lady next door called me when I first bought this house. She said, "What are you doing renting your house to Haitians? Renting your first floor to Haitians?" I will soon discover that the level of prejudice and the hierarchy within the Caribbean community is insane.
It's insane. Yeah, no, that's right.
And then I discovered
business, bro.
my own with African Americans and Africans in the Bronx. So the novel is mainly from the African perspective, because even though there is also prejudice from African Americans to to Africans, but the one that I see from Africans and the crap that they say about African Americans, for me it was just sickening. I had to write a novel about it. So I don't know if they're scared to publish. I don't know. So
you'll get Muhammad. You'll get it published. You'll get it published.
Yeah, eventually,
Yeah.
Well, we're trying. My agent is working on it. I told her, listen, I really don't care, because they're looking for the big houses. It's all about money for the publishing world. I said, I really don't care who publishes this book. I don't care if it's a very small house that gives me very little. I just want this story to go out, because nobody's writing about this intra I won't call it intro racism, but it's just this like deep prejudice that is among us. If you get Africans speak about African Americans, oh my God, you don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I totally get it, man. It's like, you know, the whole world is divided up into these little teeny.
Yes, yes. So I'm trying to expose that. So anyway, so I've told I also have another collection of short stories that I've finished. But these people, they don't want to publish a short story because it doesn't sell that much. So they will take the novel and then they will take the short story. And I'm at a point where I'm just telling my agent, I don't give an F. Just send them the collection of short stories. Again, I don't care how much they give me. Stories need to be out. As artists, I really, really, if it were to be because of money, I wouldn't be doing this. If I were doing this to be rich, I won't be. All of us won't be doing what we're doing, right, Matt?
I definitely think that that's a strong point here. You know,
Absolutely not.
we've all got, like, I know I've been hauling around literally safes filled with media of shows, and over the years I almost get some stuff digitized and almost, but I always felt like, you know, like I needed to do something more professional, or I needed to do it in a studio or with a producer or have a record label, or like, you know, so like there were all these awesome underground recordings with all these different genres and people. And so now I finally decided now's the time. I'm doing it. I'm getting it out.
That's great.
As I was digging through, I found the Synopsis CD, and I was like, what about this genius thing that's not out, you know? And same thing with Antonio and his Ensemble Uniqua. We actually connected over a year ago about it, and like he sent me stuff, and I was like, wow. And like, you know, like I'm sure we all have stuff that we want to get out there, and like your book, or books or whatever, all your stuff, like, yeah, it's not.
It will. And I hope you guys are energized. I mean, I am late in our lives right now. I am more inspired. I am just as when I was like in my 20s. I want to create. I want to just keep doing it. And what I told my agent, I said, listen, I'm going to keep writing. If they don't publish it now, they'll publish it after I die. But I'm just going to keep documenting things that we observe. As musicians, look at what Matt did. Going to friggin' like Oyo in Nigeria.
Well, also, Matt had the Afrobeat Orisha project. I found recordings of that too, Matt. I don't know if you have any recordings.
Oh man, see, I forgot about some of the stuff we did.
We played at this bar called Puck Fair. Remember that huge Irish bar that was?
That's right. Yes.
It took up. It was on like one street was Broadway, and then the next street over, and this bar runs from Broadway all the way to the other street. And they had a really high up in the air stage. And Matt and I played there, I think with John Madera possibly, and maybe one other person or something. But Matt came up with this idea to do Afrobeat music, which we should talk about.
That's because of Muhammad, actually, by the way. But
yes, and Orishas, like, yeah. Well, basically, we all got reintroduced or introduced deeply to Fela's music, Fela Kuti, through working with Muhammad. So go ahead, you guys talk about that for a second. Go ahead, Matt.
Well, actually, I mean, Muhammad, you're the one that turned me on to Fela. I mean, I didn't even.
I was shoving Fela down the throats of everybody. In college, you come to my room, we're gonna play Fela all night.
That still occurs in my household at times. So, in honor of you.
Wow.
So, before I talk about that, though, I am going to step out of the humble thing for a moment, just to acknowledge the work that we did together, all of us. And I'm going to say this in the nicest, most humblest way I can. You know, as of late, I've observed that in the jazz scene, there are various people, some people who are quite famous, who are playing at what we actually did.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, so.
Yeah, real talk.
Like the work that we did, I think together as all of us. When I hear it, you know, you're in it, you don't think about it, you play, you move on, then life happens. You know, the band's. I don't think we ever broke up, but you know, just people move on, different gigs.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you don't really think about it because you did it, you created it, and as artists, we move on to the next project, wherever the spirit takes us, musically or otherwise. I think there's always a danger, though, of not appreciating or acknowledging the work that you did, right? And it's funny because now, when you know how many 25, 30 years later, I'm listening to the recordings, playing them for my students, for my family. I'm like, holy cow! Watch the Long Island
Keepers.
Yeah. Like I mean, like you can't touch what we were doing.
Exactly.
And it was so authentic. It was so, I don't mean authentic like, oh, okay, this was like this rhythm or that rhythm or this. I mean authentic. The spirit was so authentic in it.
Exactly.
That
And
you just,
my image of Antonio is amazing because he reminds me of like James Brown on the stage. Because Antonio's like, come on, everybody. Antonio comes ready, right? and he'll be like, you know, the trumpet, and then he's like, you know, just get on, everybody, come on, ready, let's go, let's go, let's go. I mean, I have that vivid image of the way Antonio used to run that band. The way he gets everybody together, get on your shit, come on, let's do it, huh? Mohammed, you this. It was great. It was really great.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, yo, Matt, to your point, bro. You know, we were doing this shit before motherfuckers were doing it. Exactly. And cats are, you know, trying to, you know, they're out here now doing it, which is cool, you know. But it was an incredible experience, you know. And to have you cats on deck was incredible, you know. Incredible, man. Incredible. Yeah.
You always look good with the 3-piece suit, you know?
Yes, I know that. I know, right? It's like
King,
so freaking like business-like, and yet we're gonna have fun, right? But like in the suit, he takes it very seriously, you know?
Well, it's funny, from Muhammad, I got Fela and Afrobeat, which was like, from Antonio, I learned how to dress on gigs.
Yeah. No,
I'm not going to elaborate on that one.
He wasn't playing, man. He wasn't playing.
I mean, Mohammed, were you on the gig with us when we played at Lincoln Center, the Avery Fishery Hall, with it was India's 75th anniversary?
I don't think I was at that gig.
No, he wasn't on that gig.
That is such a huge memory for me. That show and what we saw, those Indian dancers, like it was a celebration of the country of India's 75th. I think it was 75 years.
Yeah, like independence
from Britain, from England.
Right.
And they invited, there's all these different parts of India. So they had dancers from each county.
I see.
Each region.
In
different beautiful costumes. And there was that one girl who like jumped on a golden platter and she shimmied her feet back and forth. And she was actually creating this amazing magical illusion that she was floating, and she literally was floating across the stage by shimmying her 2 feet like this. The platter was moving and she was dancing and looking, and like it was insane. I just remember all these women in all these different beautiful costumes, and maybe there were even men dancers too, but I just remember the women. It was like, and like we were the side band, you know, we were the roots to Jimmy Fallon, but we were the Ensemble Uniqua on the side.
I see.
I had my acoustic guitar maybe plugged in, maybe not. You know, Michael Lawson, Antonio, Sundar, Matt.
Matt, you was on that gig, yeah. You was on that gig. Yeah.
He Matt Rabicki on bass, the Salt Buddha, probably, you know, like, or another bass player. Oh my God. And we played one of my songs, Aramis, which is also on Sauce on the Sides album and just continues to be an epic song for me. And then we played, of course, the originals like from Antonio and Michael and Sundar, which are on the album. What was the original title of your demo album, Ensemble Uniqua? What was the first?
Life Music, Life Journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
I keep saying to Antonio, please get me a copy of that, because I feel like that was really something that people.
I sent it to you, Noir.
Oh,
I
you
sent it
did
to you.
that? You sent
Yeah,
me
yeah.
that?
That
All
album.
right, I'll look for it.
Yeah.
But like, I don't even know what to say. There's so much in my head. But like, playing at Alice Tully Hall with you guys in such a beautiful like honoring of India's independence, and seeing all those dancers and being able to play one of my original compositions in Lincoln Center as a 20-something-year-old was one of the highlights of my career. And if we talk about other highlights of our careers, I mean, we got to play. I mean, we always played little clubs like Izzy Bar and Knitting Factory, whatever, and like. But I feel like because so many people were in the educational realm, we got to play recitals at some of the colleges. We did Matt's Graduates recital.
Yeah. That's a badass album too.
Yeah.
And Sundar's.
Right. At NYU,
Sundar's graduates recital. Yeah.
Thanks to you guys, I got to play at NYU, Manhattan School of Music. Mohammed and I later on, after we were buddies, and like after Synopsis, he was getting his doctorate and his graduate. I feel like you brought me up to Bennington College twice to play on
that's right,
for graduation, and he and I played talking drum and guitar.
That's right.
Bennington College.
At MFA, the MFA graduation for Bennington College. Yes. I took you up there like
with you guys.
a couple of times.
You came to I know we played with Synopsis, and that's another thing. Matt wasn't on the album, but Matt had to be the live drummer and create all these parts and learn all these drum and bass break beats. And so the Synopsis album doesn't feature Matt Baranello on the drums, but I do also have live recordings of those gigs, by the way. I found mini disc CDs, whatever. So I'll try to dig those up and Dropbox them so that you guys can enjoy them, because I have at least.
I still remember those beats too. It's like the melody; it's ingrained in my head.
Yeah,
I had no idea. To be honest with you, it's like when you creating something that has been not eaten at you, when the muses are singing to you, right? I think it just comes out, right? Because I was grabbing from my West African singing, music, rhythm, and then I was tapping into the Islamic song of praise that I grew up with, right? So you could see it throughout everything. Like First Flight, it's just this hymn. Sometimes you will hear people singing like early in the morning back home. So I was just like grabbing here, grabbing from there, grabbing from everywhere, grabbing from jazz, and just mixing it up. I didn't know what was going to happen, but thank goodness all of you join in. You join in the madness and the craziness, and we managed to to create something.
It's brilliance. It's brilliance. Yeah, brilliance. Yeah.
I need to get your info and your email. I'll send you guys my the Fatima, my Afro jazz band. We have 2 albums actually with Bill McHenry on saxophone, Takuya on trumpet, Joe from Interlaken, Joe Smith,
percussion player.
No, yes, but he plays drums.
Yeah, right. No, Bill, man, that's a fucking badass band, bro.
He's killing it in Europe. He lives in Spain.
Right.
And Joe Smith also lives abroad. I think he lives in Spain or Berlin.
Okay.
I believe. He does. But that band, I mean, we played for so long before I started veering into synopsis and electronic music combined with. So it was a fertile moment during that time in New York City.
I'd love to hear that shit, bro. I know that shit's fucking soulful. Bill McKendry, that's my motherfucker. Bill. I got great love for him. And that Joe Smith too. All those cats, bro.
Well, you guys at Interlaken, man. That
Yeah,
school,
like Interlochen shit, man. You know,
that school is just insane.
no, man,
It's
it
like
was such an
they picked up
inspiration for
all
me.
these insanely talented. I'm not praising myself because I didn't go there as a musician. They picked up all these insanely talented kids and they brought them there.
Yes,
Even
beautiful
on
place, bro.
campus, Antonio, remember your gigs, your concerts on campus?
Yeah, sir.
I
Yeah,
used to just love to go watch them,
right.
and listen to you guys play.
So
Yeah,
this was a private high school, correct?
It's a private boarding school for the arts, yes.
Boarding school for the arts, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
in
And
northern Michigan, like in
Northern
a
Michigan.
place called Interlochen.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a couple of miles. Yeah, it's like 15, 20 miles from Traverse City.
Traverse City.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah. That's what made Muhammad and I met. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's where we met,
Amazing
man.
how one thing goes to the other and it sets
Yep,
you off. And
yep, yep, yep.
well, with Distro Kid is what I use for my distribution, which it took me a long time to dip my toe into it, but once I did and I started doing it, just so you know and the listeners know, it's not that expensive. You could have up to 5 artists for a couple $100, I think, for a year. And the thing
Nice.
is, you could pay $50 per album and it'll stay up there forever. Like I released Jazzy Funky Noir, one of my albums, and I released it on TuneCore or some other platform.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My credit card changed, and and they had an email that I wasn't getting the emails that it's about to expire. So then all of a sudden, Jazzy Funky Noir was gone, and it was the only album I had out for a while. So this kind of sparked my whole sort of resurgence of
Resurgent, dig it.
putting
Gotcha.
music out.
Gotcha.
So I was like, I got to get my stuff out. I had the 11561 album, which 12 years ago was Superstorm Sandy. I wrote about that, and I did a whole album, Long Beach, Benoir and the Long Beach All Stars, and it's got some good stuff on there. And then I had Jazzy Funky Noir, which I recorded in the studio here. Really good drummer, Chris Carmine, Matt. I don't know if you know the album or him, but like really fun drumming on there.
Oh, he sounds great. I know the album. You guys sound great.
Thank you. Yeah, and it was a very Miles Davis, John Coltrane inspired session where I just went in with the trio. We recorded it live. I went back to mix it. Like we recorded everything live. We just everything in one night.
One night.
Like I wanted it to be fresh like that. I have an album called Crece en Amor, which means believe in love. I wrote it in Puerto Rico and I came back. And that was 2 years ago. I wrote that one. And so I'm proud of these albums, and now I'm like, okay, I have the stuff where I spent a lot of money and I was in a studio. Now I want to get out some of this live stuff. Like I just released Solo Noir, which was just me jamming. And the part of that was thanks to Muhammad also reminding me that he still likes listening to it. And I was like, you know what? Let me check that out. And I listened to the whole thing. And I'm like, mistakes and all. I'm like, whatever. I'm just putting this out. So each album cost me $50. So however many albums we want to put out together, if you guys could help me with just that initial cost,
yeah,
I could just.
I'm on deck with it, bro.
They stay up.
I'm on deck with it.
They stay up there.
Yeah.
Apparently,
right. Okay.
I haven't lived through eternity yet, so but it says if for a legacy release, it's $50, and then you don't have to have a credit card renew every year.
I will send you a couple of albums. And Matt, I would like you to listen to it as well. And Antonio, same too.
Yeah, please.
Do you guys have Dropbox?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no reason all these things should be sitting around not being listened to. Like
I totally agree. Noir
and out, and that's gonna help.
Totally agree, bro.
Us. Because
I got crazy.
As Matt is teaching, and he's like, "This is Benoir on guitar, and this is Antonio," and like, then when we have the other releases up, they will start listening. Other people will start listening. Then they'll start telling other people. Then somebody's dad has a jazz club. Then they're gonna be like, "We want Ensemble Uniqua to play. Can you hear this stuff? We want them to come." So
wouldn't that be amazing?
This is what's gonna happen.
I love it. I love it. Noir. I love your drive, baby.
I'm a marketing guy. You know that. The Noir
I love it, baby.
Oh my God, great song.
That.
Go Matt.
I I did teach because of all these releases.
Yeah.
One of my most advanced drum students. I never showed anyone the beat for Afro Nation. That's like my thing.
Yeah.
And I did show it to him, and he's been trying to play it. And he, but I gave him that's a. So I did actually finally share that beat with somebody.
Oh, wow. Matt, where do you teach? Where do you teach again?
I teach in Manhattan. I teach actually in Jersey here too. I teach at the Church Street School for Music and Art, which is in Tribeca.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I also teach at. I live in South Orange, New Jersey now, so I also teach at the music school here in town as well, one day a week.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
So
we've all ended up being teachers.
So, and thanks to you guys, look, so
I still play.
We're all each other's supporters and teachers. Like, because I worked with you guys so much and learned so much about African music, at one point in COVID, there was a homeschool community and they wanted me to teach an African drumming class. Now,
wow.
If I hadn't done all the stuff I did with you guys through the years, I wouldn't even thought about it. But I bought a bunch of djembes at one point and I had them and I was like, all right, I'll do an African drumming class, you know. So I would go on YouTube and I'd watch somebody, I'd learn a couple of traditional things, and then I would go in. And they wanted to do different parts of Africa. So like I probably showed them Baba Olotunje. I probably, you know, but when we got to South Africa, I'm like, okay, there's Miriam Makeba, and then there's Bakiti Kumalo, who's the bass player of Paul Simon. So that's when I'm like teaching that, and somehow I was like, oh, let me see what's up with him, whatever. I don't know. I liked his page or added him as a friend on Facebook. This is how I began my musical partnership with Bakiti. It was like I added him as a friend, and probably not even him, but his assistant wrote, would you like my music page as well? Because people want to have your artist page have more likes and streams and whatever, right? So I do that. I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm like, hey, would you ever want to play Arts in the Plaza? You know, I run this small thing, you know, it's not a lot of money, whatever, but, you know. So he's like, yeah. You know, and again, it might have been his assistant. It could have been him. It doesn't really matter. But then I'm doing a piano lesson right here on this piano. And there was this little girl named Ella, and she's doing her weekly piano, and we just getting going. And on my phone, it says, Bakiti Kumalo is calling you. Like, so I was like, can I just take this for a second? And I go in the bathroom and I'm like, hi, what's up, man? How you doing? You know, started my first conversation with him about coming to play Long Beach.
Yes, I saw that gig. I saw the flyers for that gig.
Oh, yeah. So, but the thing is, it's like he first came out to play and I sat in with him. Then, you know, and I booked him a few places. And as he got to know me, he felt more comfortable with me, and eventually it led to him asking me to play in Philadelphia with him. And I got to play with Gerald Veasley. He's a famous bass player. He played with Grover Washington Jr. and many other people, and he runs a bass boot camp in Philadelphia. So I had the two of them playing 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. I'm on guitar. It's my first gig as Tall Simon, as we call it now. I'm Paul Simon, but a taller version. And it's the music of Graceland plus a couple of hit songs like 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover and, you know, like Me and Julio and whatever else we do. So I'm up there and I'm just like in bliss because I'm playing the chords to the song. I'm on stage with all these musicians I never met before. There's Bakiti. He's soloing. Gerald Veasley is soloing. And there's a video of it on my YouTube. You could actually check it out. The whole gig. I put my iPhone up. If I hadn't have done that, the whole gig wouldn't have gotten recorded. Just like a lot of these live gigs. Like I'm such a documenter, you know.
Yeah.
So you know, that sparked that. And then I got to work with Bakiti over the last few years, including this summer, which was some of the best shows of my life. Like the amount of energy I put into it and what happened and the stages I played on. And Jack Lasitra, I gotta shout him out because he met me on stage in Philly that year. He's a keyboard player, singer, accordion guy that runs a music school in Sayville. and he's the nicest guy. He's so cool. And he called me up and he's like, Ben, I want you on this gig. Bakiti, we're gonna do this club, a very cool place in Bayport, Long Island, called the People's Pub. And it's like one of the oldest structures, bars in Long Island. It's right off the tracks, right in Bayport. It's this old house, really cool wooden outdoor restaurant, inside restaurant. And we killed that. They asked me for a couple songs to play, and I suggested Santana and Bob Marley. So like I just rocked that. We just killed it. And at one point, I looked over at Bakiti, and we were doing like a mix of Exodus and what was it? No, it was yeah, it was that. It was a mix of War. We Don't Need No Trouble. Get Up, Stand Up, and Exodus. And at one point, I looked over, and it was like the drums were playing. This guy Rodney Harris, he's a killer drummer, and he's got a big thick groove, and like Emedin Rivera from Puerto Rico originally on the congas and percussion. He's rocking out, and I'm playing guitar, and Bakiti's got his eyes closed, and he's just like feeling the music, and he's just like smiling and it was just this moment that I will never forget. Another moment, and it all came from all of us working together. Like it's like we all help each other learn and learn about each other's cultures. And like, look, I'm an Anglo guy from Long Island. Like, you know, I was born, my father was Irish and German, my mother was Russian Jewish. I grew up with Italians. Like, so we have this whole mix going on of me, and then I love rock music and I love jazz, and somehow I go to Miami and I come back and I meet all you guys in the city, and you're opening my head up to freaking Bata and you know, like all the great jazz stuff, and you know, like all the compositions that's, you know, Antonio and Sundar and Michael and all that, and all the stuff that Mohammed brought in with the experimental and the Afrobeat and the message behind it. And then like I also wanted to just mention like with this interview, with this whole thing, is like how the world is just so, you know, it's being so divided in so many ways. You know, it's
I'm telling you, man.
and back in the day, it felt like such a melting pot. Like New York felt like such a, hey, let's all get together and
It really was.
let's
It
learn
was so beautiful
about things, and let's move together. You know, and it seems like we've been in a 25-year decline.
Yeah, I think we'll get back to that place. I think so. I know it's hopeless right now where we're at. I was talking to my daughter after dinner. We finished dinner, and her and I sat talking for a little bit. And to this day, I have a white lady in Michigan who my kids call Grandma Michigan.
Yeah.
The America that I came to in 1988, a white family, because I couldn't go back to Africa during vacations, they took me in a small town not far from Interlaken. The guy, may his soul rest in peace, complete white folk, small town. I was the only black. They built me a room in the house. Me and my two sisters, they pretty much looked after me during vacation till I graduated from Interlaken Arts Academy. And that's the America that I friggin' know. And it's the America that I know is a place where the people are very generous, very kind. And I believe we still have that America. I really do believe we still do have it. Yesterday, I was talking to my students. We don't do politics, but during break, they saw me with I voted early tag, and we started talking about voting. And I was telling the same story to them. Because there are still very good people in this country. Look at us now here, right? But so I hope they're not going to succeed. I hope, Benoit, I know your worries. And for those of us with kids, it's so scary. I have two girls. You pretty much like anxious, like all the time, you know?
I have faith You know,
I do
I have a lot
too.
of faith, and I think it's important that we do this, like we come together and we talk. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not just about arguing points. It's like living by example,
Mm-hmm.
because we are living examples of what could be.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. I
Yeah,
have
no,
a
it's
quick
not.
question.
You know, it's
Go
not
ahead.
what it could be. It's what it is.
And what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what
Matt,
we're doing. It's
Matt, if
beautiful.
I may ask, did you end up marry your girlfriend who was with you all the time?
Who, me?
No.
Oh, you talking about Frida?
No, Matt married a beautiful woman. Come on, Matt, show us a picture of your wife. Come on.
He, this Matt used to be at gigs when we travel to play gigs.
Tell us
She's
about
with
your
him.
wife. Your wife, Matt. Like she's beautiful.
You want me to call her?
Huh?
Yeah, have her come in. Come on, yeah.
Oh, you married her?
Just let her know we're filming in case she doesn't.
Matt, you married that girl?
No, not that. No, not the high school girl. No. He met a very beautiful girl, a very beautiful woman.
Beautiful woman. Beautiful woman.
I'm bringing you up to speed, Mohammed. That's what we're doing here.
Okay.
Hold on, let me go see her.
Go get her. We'll talk until she comes back.
Right.
That's a cool painting he's got right there behind. Cool.
Yo, Muhammad, bro.
Antonio.
It's so good to fucking see you, brother,
Same
man.
here, man. It's been too long.
Too long, man. So blessed, bro.
It's really been too long.
Yeah,
I come to your neighborhood. I mean, not your near Clinton Hill.
Okay.
Around Clinton Hill. I come there once in a while. I have a friend there that I go hang out with. She's a fellow writer.
Okay.
And you're always on my mind, Antonio. We had such a great moment. We had such a it was a moment that we were all so full of energy and ideas, and love and kindness, and just it was great. It was really great.
Can you do me a favor, man? Don't come to Brooklyn in Bed-Stuy without calling me, brother. Please don't do that.
I will. I gotta stop by to say hello.
Okay.
I gotta stop by. I mean, I live not far. I moved from, I used to live in Prospect Heights,
right,
which is now one of the most freaking expensive places to live in the city. But I sold my place, my 2-bedroom apartment. I sold it like in 2000 and oh, they are right. What they say.
Hey,
there you go, Mohammed.
Yeah.
Come on.
Right.
Oh, Mohammed, you guys know Mohammed. Meet Jennifer. Jennifer, this is Mohammed, one of
my hello, Jennifer.
Dearest musicians to me. You've heard us play together because I played you this.
Yes.
That's the person on that recording.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. I was just asking about, his woman, and then both of them were like, "Oh, he married a gorgeous woman."
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely, you compliment that.
Like he married a very beautiful woman. So then all of a sudden, there's a pressure on him to go get you so that we can all see you. I mean, I've not seen you before.
Okay.
And your husband, he is very humble. He is not someone who brags. He's the most kindest person. So he didn't want to do it, but we'll put pressure on him to go get you.
Oh. How's everyone doing?
Bless. We have, good conversation, recapping. It's love. It's love. Yeah. It's good to see you, Jen.
You too.
Yeah.
How's the family?
Good to meet you, Jen.
Nice
I'm good.
To meet you too.
All right. So what we have to do is we're gonna get the album out. We're gonna get some other albums out, and then we're gonna have to put together a live gig where we get together and we play. And
that would be nice. That would be nice. And also,
pretty simple.
Also, at some point, as I told you guys, I have not given up on still composing music.
Mm-hmm.
Benoir, if you do remember, I composed a piece at the release of my first book, right? Remember?
It sounds familiar, but I'm not.
instead of me reading, there was actually a composition
Uh-huh.
that you were playing guitar. You don't remember?
Oh, wow. Was this at Bennington? Or was this
No, this is at a place in Manhattan. This is at my friend's loft.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for my book release. I wrote a piece. So I still have
I was
that.
there. I don't remember this. Hey,
We did so much work together. We don't a lot of it. Like
I know.
I'm 51, man. My brain's like it's starting to lose a couple little things.
So I will still be coming to you guys hopefully within a year if I'm able to get my stuff together and start this new composition that I've been it just, you know how it is. It just eats at you. You have to spit it out, right? It just keeps like coming out your throat. You have to spit it out.
Awesome.
So this is the beginning or re-beginning of our connection or reconnection.
Right on.
So
Right on.
I
Bless
totally
up.
look forward to
Bless up.
us hanging out
Bless
some
up.
more.
Bless up.
And it's beautiful. And Matt, congratulations.
well, thank
He did well, right?
Yes.
Oh, he did very well.
I did.
Very well.
So we should like conclude the video recording and then if we want to just chat after. So the message is peace, love, unity, and inclusion and just like, you know, Synopsis. What do you want to say about Synopsis, Mohammed?
I think I said it all at the beginning.
Right?
I had no clue what I was doing. I had no clue. Honestly. The music
It's
came
such a
together.
great title, though. Synopsis, is because it like leads you. It's an open space.
Yes.
You know, to go. So
well, okay. Now let me give you the actual definition.
okay,
where Synopsis came from. Remember, my job was I was working with a law publishing firm, and it is from coding. When you do tagging, when you they have this thing before HTML.
Yeah.
There was standardized generalized markup language, SGML. So this is coding. When you start coding, you start with Synopsis. And there's always underscore this, underscore that when you do the tagging. This is before HTML. So if you watch the name Mohammed, I did more underscore HAMMED just to mimic the way coding works. So that's where that title came from. It's for my day job.
Yeah.
And the coding that I was doing, Synopsis, that's how it came, yeah.
Beautiful.
Is that the way you want your artist name to appear? Do you want Mo?
No, I think Mohammed Naseehu Ali is fine, my real name, because I'm going to be sending you some more music. Hopefully, we're going to be able to put some more music. So I think having my real name, my actual name, I think would be better.
Okay, cool.
Don't you think, Antonio?
See, yeah,
Yeah.
Just and then it'll just frame it with your book too, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like connection. Yeah, I agree.
I do want to mention that Antonio's daughter is like a genius, and can you please talk about?
We talked about that. It's insane. It's insane. Him and I spoke about that.
Give us a little update as to the scholarship and all that stuff.
Yeah, she's coming out of Harvard this year with 2 degrees, or you know, a bachelor's and a master's, and she wants to do a gap year in Oxford. So I'm connecting some dots there, and go to med school, man. So she's slaying them.
It's amazing.
Slaying them.
So we are not just what we have accomplished; we are what our children accomplish.
Yeah. No. She's incredible.
No, I was so happy when I heard the news. I saw it on Facebook actually, and I saw your picture of Harvard dad.
Right, of course, absolutely.
When you took her to school.
Right.
That's great.
It's so crazy, Mohammed, because I can't remember who sent me a photo of me wearing a Harvard sweater like years ago at Interlochen.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it's just like it's like prophecy, bro.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
yeah,
Oh, that's
prophecy.
beautiful. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
man. So she's doing awesome. She's studying biomedical engineering, um, robotics.
Oh my
She's
Lord.
still doing she's playing the piano, she's singing, just like, just divine, bro.
She got it from the dad, bro.
Well, blessings, man.
What about Matt and Jen? What do you got going on there? How are your kids?
They're great.
Yeah, tell us a little. Give us
You
an
guys have older kids?
update.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, give us an update.
Well, our daughter, she's her second year, and she's at East Stroudsburg University for nursing.
Kasia, right?
Wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah, she's a beautiful, beautiful lady. Yeah,
thank you.
Kasia.
So, yep, that's what she's doing. She's in her clinical rounds right now, so she's
Nice.
doing
Nice.
well, still on scholarships and doing all the same things, but closer to home.
Right on.
Yeah.
You have just one kid?
No, we have our son Abraham. He's 27.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he teaches in Harlem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he teaches
So you
high
guys have
school.
been married for a very long time.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yep. We're
Awesome.
about to be grandparents, so.
Oh my!
Soon to be
Right on,
grandparents.
right on, right on.
See, it goes to show everybody, musicians. We're not just struggling musicians. We're philosophers, writers. We create these amazing, beautiful children that go on to teach you and do all these great things. It's really beautiful. To see everybody's progression. Like we met in our 20s.
Yeah.
Right.
Some of us met in our teens.
I was 18.
Right.
Yeah, I was 18.
And you were.
Yeah, Matt was you was a young buck, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Mohammed, give us an update with your children too. What's going on with them?
I always preface this with like an idiot. You live in New York City. I have 3 kids, 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you, they are my inspiration. They're the ones who actually. I was talking earlier about. I'm at a point where I'm just creating, and I attribute all of that to my kids.
Nice.
2 girls. The first one is at Brooklyn College, about to finish.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is she's at my alma mater at Bennington College. She's totally she's an artist like me, and pretty much sees my clothes without asking, and then she just wears it. She just wears my stuff. She's the most expensive because she's going to a very expensive college. So yeah, there's the 2 of them, but really, really great. And then the gift, the greatest gift of all, the boy, that I didn't want to have any more kids. Somehow, the firmament just kept making the case.
And I had the pleasure of teaching him guitar.
Yes.
Online
yes.
over COVID.
Exactly. And that's Aiden. That's the boy. And he is. As I'm speaking, I'm helping him to edit his college essay, which he's going to be submitting in the next 2 days.
Nice.
So he is just such a gift. I'm even shy of that kid. I mean, he's just it was a gift to me. I mean, it was given to me to just make my life better.
Isn't that beautiful? Like I have to attest that this kid is like a geniusy kid. Like Mohammed wanted me to teach him guitar lessons during COVID. So I looked up a guitar model. It was a nice Cordoba guitar. They bought it. He took it out of the box. When you get a new guitar, you have to stretch the strings out. You have to tune it.
Yeah.
And it could be tricky, but he has a good ear. He listened to me, and over the internet, I'm teaching him how to tune and stretch the strings and tune it. And then we start working, and he's nailing the basic stuff. And it got to the point where he's reading a classical guitar piece across the internet with me, and he's playing you know, beautiful guitar piece. And like, he always got everything. He always got
Yeah,
everything.
that's Iron for you. He's
Mhm.
studying. He's obsessed with uh gaming design and computer science, which is what he wants to study uh in college. So
Nice.
we're praying,
Bless up. Bless up.
praying that happens,
Right.
man.
Bless.
I'll just quickly mention I ended up
You have your baby.
Sammy
Yeah.
and I ended up, you know, like adopting a little girl at birth, and her name's Luna. And you know, we tried to have children, and we were having a hard time, and we were looking at different options, and adoption was one of them. And so we were contacted by this beautiful family in Tennessee, and we met them before Luna was born. So we flew down, we met
Oh,
them, and we were all friendly with the family, and we're still in touch. So it's like an extended family situation. And Luna, their lineage also includes some Native American blood. So she's an accepted member of the Tlingit Haida tribe in
oh
Alaska.
wow.
So I brought her to her first powwow at the Shinnecock Nation on Labor Day. Labor Day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't that
Best-
great?
Best powwow ever.
We go every
We
great.
go
year.
every year.
You go?
Yes.
So we went on the Monday, just went for the afternoon, but my sister was also inspired by the whole thing, and so we'll probably make it an annual pilgrimage, and maybe that'll be a great opportunity to hook up and hang out there as well. What a beautiful thing, you know, like, so glad I did that.
It's
And
funny because I brought that up today at my students too. I'm sorry, go on. It's funny. It's
no, go ahead, go.
came up today.
Go.
It's the second time that powwow this is the second time that powwow came up in the last 4 hours.
Look, I have right here. I have
Interesting.
I have
Just a side note.
the programs right there.
Yeah.
I was telling the drummer, it's a band that I coach, and they're a band that gigs around. And I was actually telling the drummer, because there was a certain feel that I was trying to get him to get, and I said, "Have you ever been to a powwow?" And he said no, and they all laughed at me. These are all high school kids.
Right.
It's like so, and I just anyway, I don't want to go in a whole nother.
It's not random. The woofer speakers are everything
But-
at the powwow. Those big
Yeah.
woofer
God.
speakers, they're like
Big-
amazing. Yeah.
I
That's
basically
like the
told the
big
drummer to
drum.
go there so he could learn to get the feel that I was trying to make him get.
Oh, I had such a great time there. I've been feeling connected to Native American culture since I was a little kid. Growing up in Long Island, you learn about all the tribes and everything in the history, and I always was like so deep into Native American and American Revolution, the time period. Like, I just loved it, and I feel like I'm reincarnated, if reincarnation is a thing, as a Native American, you know, spirit, and that's in my music too. And so, you know, there was that song "Reach Out" that I wrote.
Reach out. I love that tune, bro.
And Antonio said, "Oh yeah, I have the recording of that." I literally called up the Wichita Collegiate Academy on the phone. I was like, "Do you guys have like a live performance of Ensemble Uniqua, like with Rochelle Small?" Like,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
no, I
Antonio has the recording somewhere. You have
yeah, I got it somewhere, bro. And we also did Kansas City. It was a bar, bro,
Max's
in the city.
Max's Kansas City.
Yeah.
And you
And
have that.
that was a tune on the shit too.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was like
That had a real Native American melody type of thing, and it's crazy, you know. It's crazy. Well, I'm so glad we did this.
Yo,
It
this
was
is
great,
so
guys. It was
fruitful. Bless
so
up.
beautiful.
Yes.
And
Yes, indeed.
hope to see you, Antonio.
Yes.
I will come check you out in Best Eye one of these days.
Every time you come, you just
I'll stop by to say hello.
Come see me, man, please. You
Maybe
know,
I should
I
bring-
can come see you. You know,
Yeah,
wherever
yeah.
you are.
Dude, we can make you. I told you about my cooking. I can make you some really amazing like lamb stuff from DB lamb stuff from West
Okay.
Africa.
Okay. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, I'm the dude.
Antonio,
Yes, sir.
we talked about like 3 weeks ago. We should just mention we talked about getting together, and and calling these guys. We didn't, because we were saying who's left in New York out of Ensemble Uniqua. I think it's only the 4 of us.
Yeah, I think it is actually. That's it.
So
Yeah.
so we were talking about one night getting together in Manhattan,
Yeah.
just at a restaurant, just to
Let's
hang
do
out.
that. Let's do that too. Okay.
You know what I actually did the other day, which was so much fun? I live right near Far Rockaway, so I went to Far Rockaway and I got on the ferry, and I took the ferry into South Street Seaport. And it was the most awesome thing. It was like $2.50. We got a whole ride, a boat ride. We go all the way. It stops in Sunset Park, and then it goes,
wow.
and then it goes.
Yeah, I've taken that ferry. It's a nice ferry. Yeah, awesome ferry. Yeah,
great thing to do. Maybe, you know, who knows what we'll do, but let's get together. That'll be great.
You know, Noir, thank you so much, man.
Antonio, do I have your email? So
think
now
you
I
do.
should have your number now, right?
You got my number.
Because of this, yeah.
I'm gonna send you my email right now.
Great, please, Matt.
Hmm?
I need your info. I need your number. I need your email.
I'll text it right. I'll
It's
text it on the.
so good to see you, bro.
I know, it's great. You look great,
It's
man.
so beautiful to see you, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great to reconnect. I'm so happy. I'm happy everything is going so well for you too. This is amazing.
Yeah. Same here. Well, we're trying. We just keep at it. We keep at it. Benoir,
Yes.
thank you so much for making this
Yes.
happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for making this shit happen, bro.
You're welcome. And
Epic.
I think Trio Noir's album is out tomorrow, and this is the studio album that Fred played drums on, not Matt. But at some point, I want to get the Matt stuff out there too. But I'm pretty sure Halloween, Happy Halloween, like Trio Noir will be up. I did the artwork last night at 1 a.m. I drew it. It was inspired by my mi amor Nikki. She has a beautiful back, and like I was thinking of the flamenco and the dancer. So you'll see like the artwork. I just drew it on my iPad, and it's got the tracks like that Michael wrote 3 songs, and I give him credit. And then there's Imagine by John Lennon and a drum and bass thing. There's Afro Blue, Mongo Santa Maria, but done with my style. And there's W, a dub song that in 2003, you know, I named it after George Bush's, you know, his nickname was W.
W.
So, so yeah. So look out for that tomorrow, all right? And
all right, cool. And
God bless
Jen, good to
y'all.
see you.
Please.
You
talk.
too.
Jen, nice to see
So
you.
nice meeting
Nice to see you too. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. All right.
All right, talk soon, guys. Bye.